Today on Missing Number, the secret F-bomb hidden in Discworld.
I want to be the first person in the game to say f***.
DayZ's strange radio broadcast heard on a haunted mountain. And strange glitches and unexpected moments in games. Missing Number starts now. What was the first game to drop the F-bomb? There's conflicting answers, but 1995's Discworld certainly vied to be the first. The game contained hidden dialogue in which the main character said the F-word, but it was such an obscure Easter egg that no one knew it existed for a decade. The point-and-click adventure game, which is based on Terry Pratchett's titular book series, is about a wizard named Rincewind who tries to defeat a dragon. The character is voiced by Eric Idle, who was part of the British comedy troupe Monty Python. Two other actors, Graham Chapman and John Cleese, were also members. Cleese in particular had the honor of being the first person to say the S-word on British TV.
Well, I'm afraid I've been given instructions not to accept any...
In that case, my final offer would be 30.
£30,000?
Yes.
Shit.
In October 1989, Chapman passed away, and the following month, Cleese gave a eulogy at his funeral, where he jokingly said that he would be the first person at a British funeral to say the F-word.
Just for starters, I want you to become the first person ever at a British memorial service to say
A parody of that line was secretly added to Discworld and its sequel, but it went undiscovered for decades until an internet user named Akril dug into Discworld 1 and 2's files. They found the F-word in text documents that contained all of the game's dialogue, but they never heard or seen the F-word used in either game before. Akril posted their findings on a Discworld forum, and a couple of months later, Discworld's designer and programmer David Johnston actually replied and confirmed that the F-word dialogue was a secret Easter egg that he added. Johnston revealed how to unlock the Easter egg on his website, but his step-by-step guide was incorrect. Enough time had passed that Johnston misremembered.
Ook, eek, ook. Yee!
Fast forward to December 2010, an Adventure Gamers forum member named DanDan9107 managed to finally find the Easter egg in the game. To unlock it, you have to use Suffragester on Rincewind 12 times near a magic stone circle, and then go through a portal.
Let's just leave. Let's. Not a bad idea, but the legs seem to get in the way.
You'll go back in time and meet yourself from the first game where Rincewind will engage in humorous meta-dialogue and say the F-word as a parody of Cleese's funeral line.
It's amazing, I think I've had this deja vu before. Who are you? I'm you, just better drawn and animated. Just look at those jagged pixels, not to mention that mono voice. Please tell me what's going on. I'm from the sequel, and there's been a few changes, I can tell you. Higher resolution, a wizard must look the good, you know. Better sound, after all my voice isn't supplied by just anybody, you know. Longer rest periods between quests, less walking, that sort of thing. For the life of me, I don't see why they don't just have lots of film clips. I could sleep through the whole game then. Well, if you're from the sequel, then perhaps you could help me. I've been wandering around here for days like a puppet on a string. That person playing this game has no idea. Could you please explain to me that thing about butterflies and lampposts? No, not in any shape, way or form. Not in any permutation or restatement. Allow me to compliment the game designers for establishing a logic system completely at odds with a real, rational world. Sort of explains a lot, doesn't it? I want to be the first person in the game to say Not one of your better ideas, I'm afraid. Been there, done that. Let's leave well enough alone. What do you mean I've already said it? All right then. I want to be the first person in a sequel to say Anyway, nobody wrote in and said they'd heard it in the first game. It must have been too well hidden. Well, who'd have thought, eh? Look, I'm afraid I have to be somewhere else. See you later. Goodbye!
In the first game, the F-word isn't censored. The curse can only be heard in Discworld's PlayStation version. Near the end of the game, where there's a large crowd, you need to click on very specific spots on particular NPC characters in sequential order. Then when you move the mouse cursor over a woman's breasts, text on the screen will change, at which point you need to press the square button to trigger the hidden profane dialogue.
I want to be the first person in a game to say fuck.
This Easter egg took an additional 5 to 10 years to figure out, meaning the entire mystery took 20 years to solve. According to Johnston, the reason he included profanity in the game was because he was bored. The F-word line had already been recorded, and so he surreptitiously added it to Discworld and made it impossible to find by accident, or so he thought. Johnston was eventually told that a customer ended up discovering the Easter egg when their copy of the game crashed and played every single line of the game's dialogue, including the F-word. Johnston's boss was officially not happy, but was amused at the same time. Johnston was then instructed to include a similar Easter egg in the second game, but with any offensive words bleeped this time around. Whether Discworld was really the first game to use the F-word is up for debate. In text form, 1988's Explosive Fighter patent for the Famicom included the F-word on the loading screen. But in terms of the curse being said verbally, 1990's Paranoia game had an alien that would stick the middle finger and say F you to the player at the end of every stage. However, you can't clearly hear it, so in terms of being able to audibly and clearly hear the F-word, that honor may go to a point-and-click adventure game called Police Quest Open Season, which came out in November 1993.
Music?
What is this music you're playing? It's from the fatherland. It's my fucking favorite.
If you like this video so far, be sure to subscribe, like, and click the bell icon for notifications. If you have any gaming myths, mysteries, oddities, or Easter eggs, be sure to let me know. You can also check out my other YouTube channel and watch me live on Twitch. The links are in the video description. Now back to the show. We don't talk about Green Mountain. Never go to Green Mountain. This is the warning that's given to players who inquire about the place in DayZ. Even though it's said half-jokingly, there is an urban legend that the landmark is haunted. Back in the early days of DayZ, which is an open-world zombie survival horror game that's set in a post-Soviet European country, players reported experiencing strange and creepy things on the mountain. Witnesses described moving shadows, flashing lights, and both players and zombies suddenly appearing or disappearing. Players have also heard voices and gunshots, even though they were in an empty server. And in extreme cases, players inexplicably died or had their game crash. Green Mountain is an isolated area that has a military base and a pit filled with corpses. There's also a tall radio tower that you can climb to the top of, where there's a mysterious, unreachable red hatch. It's been long rumored that if you picked up a radio and turned it on, you could hear an hourly radio transmission from a number station. In real life, number stations are said to be radio stations that broadcast secret messages to spies using numbers or letters. Here's an audio clip of a real-life number station broadcast, followed by the one heard in DayZ.
Three 9 7 1 5. 3 9 7 1 5. 6 6 4 7 5.
0 4 8 1 0 0, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0. Zero, 3, 6, 0, 9, 1.
Internet sleuths figured out that the numbers in DayZ's transmission were coordinates to deer stands, while the Morse code translated to, "We are no longer alive. This message will play every hour if operators are no longer responsive, unable to quarantine subject change." The theory was that Green Mountain was where the zombie outbreak originated. The deer stands were quarantine zones guarded by snipers, but when they were killed, the zombies spread everywhere. Players speculated that the numbers broadcast was coming from Green Mountain's radio tower, in a room sealed by the aforementioned red hatch. According to skeptics, however, the transmission was a hoax. At the time, in-game radios supposedly either didn't exist or weren't functional. If both the radio and transmission were in DayZ, then they were unofficially added to the game by fans. Some of the players that claimed to have heard the broadcast in the game could have been pranked by other players using a mic, as seen here.
0, 4, 8, 1, 0, 7,
048107. Jetzt mal auf die Date, also 08, wo ist denn hier 08?
Was ist das denn? Ich mach das Ding gleich aus, Alter.
What the fuck? Da geht der ABC da, Mann.
This is not a test. Officials in Washington, D.C., in cooperation with state and local authorities, have issued the following emergency bulletin. Due to the recent unfolding events, all remaining unaffected citizens are strongly urged to cautiously proceed to the nearest Army or National Guard facility. You will not be safe anywhere within the affected area.
Moreover, the music heard in this transmission may have been taken from an unofficial Half-Life 2 song. What's more, myth hunters didn't hear the numbers broadcast while investigating Green Mountain, but adding a wrinkle to all of this is that two different versions of DayZ exist. The game was originally an Arma 2 mod that was released in 2012 to 2013. That version was known as DayZ Mod. In 2018, a standalone version of the game came out, dubbed DayZ Standalone. Players say that the spooky stuff happened in DayZ Mod, and that the game files for the radio transmission were removed in Standalone. However, some unofficial servers allegedly added the radio transmission back into the game, which is what some players may have heard. The general consensus is that the numbers broadcast is fake, but it was so well done that it's now part of the DayZ mythos.
3, 4, 9, 0.
Around the world, players have encountered strange glitches and unexpected moments in their games. Here's what they found.
Oh, dude, I just found a gang attack.
Oh my god!
don't have time to talk. I have things to do.
Why? Why? Why?
Excuse me?
All friendlies neutralized.
What I can fight, you know? Oh my god, no! Motherfucker! Whatever. Pinhead,